Welcome back, friends. We begin this adventure with an overnight stop in Escondido, California. I made an appointment at Shift Auto Works to have a coolant leak diagnosed. I had a smell of cilantro while driving, and my local dealership couldn't find anything wrong and said that smell was normal. Well, Francisco, were you able to find the coolant leak?
Yes, sir. And after having it under pressure test for like 5 minutes, we noticed that it was losing pressure. And after looking for the leak, this is what we found, which this is the hose that goes to the oil cooler to the heater hoses, which this one sits behind the intake manifold, so it's really hard to see unless you're looking for this hole there. Well, yeah, but
Thank you.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate your business.
We were back on the road and on our way to the desert for some fun in the sun, or so we thought. We thought the desert would be the answer for a few days away from all the rain and milder weather. Our first stop was the visitor center. I was lucky enough to meet Bob, who is very knowledgeable on everything park related. In fact, he gave us information that would impact our entire trip. More on that later. The sunny skies forecasted were replaced with strong winds, so we had to find shelter at the only Airbnb available. This Airbnb, near the Salton Sea, made a great base camp over the next 2 days for exploration into the desert washes of Anza Borrego. We found ourselves on County Road S22 because of a route change, so we took a side trip up June Wash to search for wildflowers. Canyon Sin Nombre is a beautiful and picturesque trail that winds through an ancient sandstone and granite canyon, which has amazing rock formations. This sandstone contains elements and fossils from when the ancient Colorado River flowed through the area. There's a slot canyon suitable for hiking 2 miles into this canyon. After that, you will enter some wide, sandy washes, which were once part of the historic Butterfield stage route. The rest of the journey takes you to the lookout above Diablo drop-off, and then the route winds down into Fish Creek Wash. We made a slight detour to see the mud caves and stretch our legs before continuing on. The mud caves are formed by erosion caused during periods of heavy rainfall. When this infrequent rainfall occurs, it cuts channels into the mud hills that are commonly found in the topography of this arid region. Because of the cohesive consistency of the mud in this particular area and its ability to swell to several times its original dry volume, it adheres to itself and to the canyon walls, creating natural bridges and sometimes caves as it dries. The Arroyo Tapiado mud caves are one of the park's most distinct attractions. That being said, entering the caves is dangerous and should not be taken lightly. If you want to go, make sure you don't go alone, take lots of water, and bring a flashlight. Do not enter the caves after recent rains because the walls are prone to collapse.
Hi, sweetie.
Hi, honey.
Whoa, bright light. It's dark.
Sorry, it took us a while.
Well, it opens up, and then there's, you can keep following it down, and then there's another cave on the left.
Have you guys been here before?
No.
Yeah. It gets pretty deep. Hard to go in. Some parts get kind of dicey. You do have to crawl on your stomach.
Yeah, we're not
Well-
gonna go that far.
Well, this cave opens up.
Yeah, it
into,
opens up to the very top. You
And
can
then
just
there's
walk
another
over.
cave on your left if you keep going like quarter mile down.
The first opening on your left gets pretty dicey if you want to do more
No.
cave
It's a
exploring.
Fun one
We're
there.
good.
Yeah, this is like the only open cave.
The cave we entered was large and had about a half a mile or so of darkness until reaching light provided by 2 cave-ins. These collapses were awesome because it gave us a break from the monotony of the darkness and offered cool photo opportunities.
At this second, I don't see out, but I'm not all the way around the corner. There's corners in front of me. Did they say you can get out? I didn't understand that. I'll go in front of you.
Can you go over it?
No.
Go down? Oh.
It's harder to go over.
The next attraction on our must-do list was the infamous Diablo drop-off. I was a little apprehensive about going down this steep decline because of its notoriety. Let's see how we do. I initially planned our route through the park, beginning in the north and traveling over the Diablo drop-off towards the south. Bob, at the visitor center, informed me you're supposed to drive down the drop-off and not up it. We had to change our route to begin in the south and go north. This would have changed the dynamics of the trip if we had been overlanding as planned. Driving up the drop-off causes damage to the trail because of tire spin on the steep incline. It appeared as if we were the only ones on the trail who knew this information. I had to back up to let this group go by. Sandstone Canyon is one of the only slot canyons in Anza Borrego that you can drive into. You can only drive into the canyon for a few miles until it becomes too narrow to go any further. Then, it's a short hike through the rest of the canyon.
I'm not heading for the stars, driving down the boulevard tonight. Playing Coldplay on repeat, watching people on the street as I go by. And it doesn't even matter to me where I go. I just feel I need to take a ride. Got my coffee cup to go, and I'm gonna hit the road tonight. Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go.
Even though it's not very far from Fonts Point, Vista del Malpais is the lesser known of the two viewpoints. The view is not as impressive as Fonts Point. However, they both give you a 360-degree view of the surrounding Badlands. They each have their own unique features. Fonts Point is more impressive because it has a higher vantage point. Vista del Malpais is beautiful for those who appreciate quietness.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go.
Fonts Point is one of the most popular viewpoints in Anza Borrego Desert State Park. The formations here tell a story of geological and paleontological history. Conglomerates, sandstones, claystones, and mudstones were compressed and hardened, making a variety of landscapes. This is a spectacular and popular viewpoint.
What are you gonna air down to?
We just turned off Highway 78 onto Buttes Pass Road, where we aired down for the Borrego Mountain Loop. Our next stop was the trailhead for the slot. Slot canyons are narrow, smooth-walled crevices formed by flowing water eroding rock over millions of years. This 1-mile hike is the most popular hike in the park. Imagine wandering through 40-foot high canyon walls in a remote part of the desert. The canyon walls get so narrow, you have to literally squeeze your way through parts of them. Hi, honey.
What's that last one? It's a doozy.
Driving up hills of the moon made me feel like an astronaut driving in a lunar rover. By driving up this wash, you are venturing into the heart of the Borrego Badlands. The moon doesn't have tectonic plates or volcanic activity, but it does have hills. All of its hills are caused by impacts from asteroids in the distant past. The road up this wash starts out fairly easy, but gets more difficult as it becomes more narrow and twisty.
Today is my 55th birthday, and I'm spending it on the moon. Hills of the moon, that is, in Anza Borrego State Park. We came here to try and find shelter from the wind, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen.
Oh, that's good. Monster sandwich.
Well, this wasn't the birthday weekend that I had envisioned, and it probably wasn't the trip that we were all thinking that it was going to be, but
All in all, it's fun going through Anza Borrego and learning more about the place and checking out some of the different canyons and such, and driving down the washes.
what was your favorite part?
Probably Sen Canyon,
Sandstone Canyon?
Sandstone Canyon. Yes, yeah, that's cool. I liked it.
The mud caves were more spectacular than I thought they were going to be, because I've seen videos of them and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. But when you're finally in there, it's a lot more impressive.
I like the slot canyons that we walked through. That was nice.
Not the drive? You like the walking ones?
The drive was interesting, but I like the walking slot canyons better.
The driving was nice, but I liked getting out and doing some of the hikes. The slot canyons were nice. The different vistas we went and saw, those were nice as well.
When we planned this trip, we were thinking we were going to overland. It was what, 3 days, 2 nights?
Correct.
The first night, it was calling for 10 to 20 mile per hour winds with gusts up to 35 miles per hour. The group decided that instead of weathering the wind and sand, that we might want to try and do an Airbnb and then have that as our base camp, and then set out and venture and explore from there.
Yeah, when we were planning the trip, we had looked forward to on the weather, and everything was going to say high 70s, beautiful, and back home it was going to be raining. And so we were thinking like we definitely going to be in the right place for this over the weekend. And then, yeah, once we got out here, weather, it changed and turned into windstorms, basically.
We have a lot more information now to go off of, and so now we know.